Good morning, I'm Elisha and this is this week's school news. Miss Tuttle is the Teacher Tuesday winner this week. On the screen are some things that students said about her. Thank you all for voting and leaving amazing comments. And thank you for being a wonderful teacher, Miss Tuttle. The Teacher Tuesday link is on the Student Canvas course and DHMS website. Remember to vote every week for a teacher that you want to be recognized. You voted for your favorite Super Bowl ad, and your top 3 ads from the Super Bowl are number 3, avocados from Mexico, number 2, Doritos and Cheetos, and number 1, Alexa with Scarlett Johansson and Colin Jost. Thank you all for voting. March Book Madness is coming. Do you like March Madness? Then you'll love March Book Madness starting next week. 16 titles will compete for the top spot, and you get to decide who wins. Look for the details next week from the library. Author Cristina Diaz-Gonzalez will visit DHMS virtually today at 1 p.m. If you want to buy any of her books, you can use the link on the DHMS website. The CRS for 6th and 7th grade are due on Friday, February 25th, and the CRS for 8th grade were due last week. Thank you for watching this week's school news.
Hello, and welcome to World News. Starting with an update on Russia and Ukraine. Western nations are still concerned as Russian forces remain gathered at the border with Ukraine, and the U.S. capital has accused Russia of being poised to attack. NATO states that the military pressure at the border is still mounting, while Moscow says that they are pulling back. The Ukrainian president has expressed frustration over the state of global security and has requested the UN Security Council's permanent members to provide new security guarantees for Ukraine. The Group of 7, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the UK, and the US, political forum of 7 of the most economically advanced liberal democracies in the world, have called for Russia to reduce their military activities near Ukraine. The President Biden expects an imminent escalation following a nuclear forces test launch from Russia. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries in Iran. OPEC Plus, which consists of all OPEC nations, as well as some of the larger global exporters of oil that are not officially part of the organization, has recently sought to include Iran in its accords. Currently, Iran is not included as part of the deal between OPEC and its allies due to the impact of the sanctions on exports. The organization seems inclined to reach an agreement with Iran, and it is not unlikely that the U.S. will lift sanctions put in place by former President Trump, COVID-19 in the U.S. The FDA has considered authorizing a second booster shot of the Pfizer vaccine, though whether or not it falls through will likely depend on the presence of new variants. Governor Glenn Youngkin of Virginia has signed into law that schools may not require masks as of March 1st. APS will keep the mask mandate in place until the 1st, though some other school systems have repealed their own mandate earlier. Thank you for watching World News.
President's Day took place on Monday. It usually takes place on the third Monday of February, since George Washington's birthday lands on the same day. On President's Day, people celebrate notable presidents and their contributions to our country. Some notable presidents are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln. And some more recent presidents are Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. Although we mostly remember a handful of presidents, it's also important to honor all that have served as chief in command.
Hey DHMS! Upcoming is a short segment for Black History Month in Arlington, the story of Johnson's Hills neighborhood. Arlington View, in the early 1700s known as Johnson's Hill, was initially a farm that was divided into 4 parts, 3 of which were sold to former slaves in the late 1800s. On Johnson's Hill, the first brick house in Arlington was constructed by Harry Gray, which still stands today. Descendants of the Gray family still live in the neighborhood. During the 1950s, the condition of Arlington View deteriorated, which made the community join together to organize cleanups. As a result, the Arlington Neighborhood Conservation Plan repaved streets and rebuilt the town, making it more modern and in good conditions. The middle-class neighborhood is about 62 acres big, with a predominantly Black history. People living in Arlington View enjoy being a part of the community today. Currently, Arlington View is a populated neighborhood with mainly single homes, schools, and churches that is a big part of Arlington County. Thanks for watching!
Hi, I'm DJ Conyers, and I'm going to be telling you a few prominent figures in Arlington that have made history. First, we have James T. Moore. James T. Moore was born and raised in Clinton, North Carolina. He was a barber, and in the early 60s, he opened B&M Barbershop at Lee Highway. The shop then became Moore's Barbershop. Moore's Barbershop has been much more than a place to get your hair cut. It was a place for the community to come together. He was also the barber for Pulitzer Prize winner Eugene Robinson. Mr. Robinson was the editor of the style section of the Washington Post. Moore's Barbershop is featured. Now, Mr. Moore is married to his wife Gwendolyn for more than 60 years. His twin granddaughters will be graduating from the University of Maryland this spring. Next, we have Winifred Owens-Hart. Winifred Owens-Hart is a cultural scholar, writer, ceramist, and documentary filmmaker. The work and passion of her life revolves around the creative process. The historical importance of pottery workers around the world and the preservation of all indigenous pottery really touched her. She is the founder of ILE AMO Research Center, which specializes in indigenous pottery from around the world. She also founded the Female Pottery House, which is dedicated to improving lives through the playwork of traditional female potters and their children. She was also born in Halls Hill, Arlington. Lastly, Kamal Ali Salam El. Kamal Ali Salam El, also known as Reggie Harrison, was a running back on the Washington Lee High School football team from 1966 to 1968, and also for Stratford Junior High School from 1964 to 1965. Kamal also participated in track and field and set a state record during his senior year at Washington Lee High School. He continued his football career at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College for 1 year, and then on to University of Cincinnati. After setting school records in football and track, Kamal was drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, and later in his rookie year, played for the 6-time world champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Kamal, now retired, does just anything he wants, but his interest is in building street bars.